Ernie, you have any questions, Ernie?
You know what, Paul? No, it's just along the way when I was listening to you, yeah, one of the YouTube videos, like suddenly all the questions kind of melted away. So, because every time I ask questions, it reminds me of the questioner. Really, it's the same thing. You're kind of it's hiding in the questioning. It's hiding in the questioner, questioner. So
Yes. But that's the beauty of it, yeah, because see, the coolest thing here for me is what you would think is a failure turns into a great success. Yeah. So all those questions, and you never felt you got an answer, but you got an answer. Yeah, there is no questioner. So they all had, this is the beauty of it for me. Now, let's say something, you were in a dualistic relation to something that was disturbing you, and you were the disturbed. Yeah. So some activity in the head's disturbing, quote unquote, you, and you're looking at that disturbing from the disturbed. Yeah. And of course, there's a desire that it would stop. So that because the belief is if I wasn't disturbed, I wouldn't be the disturber or the disturbed. Yeah. But in fact, uh, so these reactions, they're just mental reactions, based on a logic, and they're valuable to watch. So today we had a share, very nice share about, uh, you know, in this modality of trying to be of help to people in recovery, they're describing what happens. Yeah, like this triggers that, and therefore you see it this way. What we would say is, all right, and you're not that. Yeah. But a lot of the modalities to be helpful don't see it that way. They want that which has been pointed out as the doer of this and that and this is to do something different. Yes. The sense of doership, not questioned, but what it's doing and what it's doing, if it's change, will lead to a different doer. Yeah. Innocent. And a lot of people, and so they give knowledge to someone who's suffering from something. And the person who's hearing it says, oh, great, I'm going to use that knowledge to get out of the suffering. Yeah. This is what this message questions before. Yeah. Before you get going with the idea that all you need to do is notice something and then you can change it. Uh, all the while never changing the one who noticed it, nor the one who's driven to change it. Yeah. No. And they're firing of knowledge, but that knowledge is now claimed by the idea of self, and then the self knowledge doesn't, because there's an assumption of power where there's no power. All I need is the knowledge of what I'm doing, and then I can change what I'm doing. But it doesn't work that way, does it? There's a lot of times you make a vow in the morning not to have a resentment, and you're
Oh, not me.
the vow not to have one predicated it to happen quicker. Yeah. So the vow not to have a resentment, it produces, yeah, that's not a weird phenomenon. It's how the mind works. So this is the beauty of this message, is it's a disarming message. Yeah. And all right, so now you get hit with it and then you sit with it, but then something moves to do something, and then that's disarmed. Yeah. And so every time it tries to get up and put on the uniform and go out to battle, someone takes its sword, so to speak. Yeah. So it can't get going. And in that not getting going, you see that act of going. Yes. Once it's gone, it's pointless, really. It's like a 5-year forensic autopsy, 5 years after the person died. Yeah. A lot of information has been lost. So in this way, this message is disarming, not for you to gather up your arms and then take off to battle again. No, disarming, because you see the futility of any movement, wise or not. You see the futility, not so much about the movement, but that the movement is used to reinforce the mover. Yeah. Yeah. So either you're moving yourself into a new condition and or you're moving yourself out of an old condition. It's just moving. Yeah. And with all that moving, you can't get a real bead on things. Yes. So this is when the head is called to arms and you don't move, what do you see? You don't see you're not moving, you see the head moving. Yeah. And in seeing the head moving, you see it's not you. Yeah. And it gets tripped. It's sort of as if the rug is pulled out from underneath it. That doesn't have to be a lifelong event. The rug gets pulled out, I don't know, maybe once, maybe I don't know how many times. It really doesn't matter, because there's like that one straw that breaks the camel's back. There is an accumulation in time and space that it hits a critical mass and something shifts. Yes, that's all. And when it seems to shift, it isn't like you blew it and I wish it would have happened earlier. You're very clear that time is manufactured and its value is given to it, really, here. Yeah. And one time I remember I was in the hospital, coming out of some like they didn't put me completely out, they just froze a part of me. It was, I don't know what to call it, but it wasn't complete anesthesia, but it was local anesthesia. So I was awake, and while these people were pulling these rods out of my leg, which was very weird, you didn't feel pain, but you heard the metal coming through the bone. It was a very strange experience. And something happened, and uh, I felt that stillness was, but stillness like shot with an eternal stillness. And I just came out of it, and I realized it's always been this way. It doesn't matter what you believe or think, or when all's said and done, uh, nothing's ever really happened in a lot of ways. Yeah. I mean, I don't have any mementos basically from yesterday, truly. Yeah. Hmm. But it becomes attainable not by learning how to get into the moment, but realizing you can't be out of the moment. Yes. If you want an absolute answer, you're not going to get it by getting in it. It's by realizing you've never been out of it. Yeah. Because if you believe you got in it, it's not. But when you realize you're not out of it, yes, that's that. Yeah. Yeah. No matter, and it didn't matter how the cover of the book of how to get into the moment and know how beautiful, realize you can't be out of the moment. Yeah. Now, getting into the moment would have a lot to do with you, wouldn't it? Yeah. A you that is out of the moment. Uh, you're not a you that's out, so there's no drive to get in. Or whatever drive you have is a memory, and it weakens over time. Yes? Like your grasping is like a memory. It will stop grasping after a while. It has a little momentum, but you'll see it as not, yeah. And it's you're wherever you are, you're absolutely there. Uh, so it was interesting. We had a guy once at the from the UK at the recovery meeting, and in recovery, there's a 12-step program, like process, that initiates a recognition of what's already there, which is a spiritual awakening. So you don't wake up to anything, you awake out of something. So you wake up out of something and you really realize the awakening is actually the reality. Yeah. The normalness is awakeness. Yeah. So, and there was a prayer when we believe so fervently in what the head tells us, we're in a condition that we're not there. Yeah. And we have a third step prayer, which would be asking this power to relieve us of the bondage of self. So this man had been sober for 20 something years in recovery, and he saw the importance of that prayer, and he was doing the prayer. And then we were talking at the meeting, and then he got on and he says, I realize right now my praying to be free from the bondage of self while I'm actually free from the bondage of self is a disservice in a way. I'm praying to have a future condition about a condition I'm in now. And that the head is using the prayer for a future condition to hide the fact that you're in that condition now. Now, that wasn't a phenomena, that's a pattern, yeah? That's a very important recognition of how the head works. The head has you praying for something that's readily available now, but you're hoping you'll arrive there in the future. And sometimes you're overlooking the present condition by this hoping for it to be a future condition. Yeah? That has value when you see it because it's going to happen a lot in one's head. And so let's say it redoes 800 things today. Okay. And then another day, 800 things. You're going to see a pattern in those 800 things. So you don't have to look and investigate every one of the 800 things. You see the pattern. It's like a fabric, it's like a thread through the fabric of the existence of the mental activity. There's a pattern there. You recognize the pattern, and there's an aha in that. Yeah, an aha. And it's almost as if a lot of territory gets reclaimed out of the past and future and is free from that right now. Yeah, yeah. To the point where in recovery, you're brought to certain places, and one of them is that any life run on self-will is not going to be successful. Yeah, now that isn't. There's no if, ands, or buts about that. That's a conclusive statement. Any life run on self-will is hardly going to be successful. You come to that conclusion. Yeah, and then that book is closed, and you move on. And then, okay, one of the golden oldies, you're brought to that. It opens up. You realize it. That is, yes. And uh it's like you believing you're a long-lasting, independent, separate entity, but there's a lot of leaks. You're leaking like crazy. Yeah. Attention and interest is just being spent on the same old, constantly. Like you're told to be, you're pointed at something before you're looking at anything else. It's just those things stop. Yeah. They come to an end. And what's there? Let's say unfiltered space, or let's say un unfilled space. Yeah. It's almost as if you're living with an oxygen tank. You're getting fresh oxygen every breath. Yeah. Not stale old shit, but a freshness. Yeah. The action figure does well in that atmosphere. It wishes and it's given this up that it could produce that atmosphere. It's realized it can't, and it really appreciates when it's brought into that atmosphere. Yeah. Or when it's placed in that atmosphere. There's not a pure, it's just gratitude. Yeah. Gratitude that something has done for it what it can't do for itself. Yeah. It's awesome. So you'll just travel lighter here and mm, I don't know, you'll leave us a lighter footprint, yeah, in the sand. Maybe you'll come and go in a lighter manner. Taking care of an animal or two, some plants, stuff like that. Yeah, so anything I could do not to help you, I'm really into it completely. I am. I'd really like you to just hang out to dry and you'll see what can't dry ain't you. When are you going to realize? Let that thing hang out. Yeah. Watch the desire to become and unbecome, not given momentary fuel, but just a habit of desiring to become and unbecome, and not be affiliated with it on any substantial manner. It's so a recognition of the movement of what you're not, to me, has so much more valuable than a volume amount of books. Yes. Just seeing the movement of grasping and claiming and attempting to get something and to know something so you can have the feeling of have it and then worry about losing it for months and months and months. So we're just here every Tuesday as best we can show up. And, I've really boiled down to those two things. The one, the greatest mystery, which sounds like a pretty good thing to do. These people that say you have spiritual bypass is whatever. I'm not a believer in that. I would love to bypass a lot of mysteries and get to the greatest one. I would. Yeah. Because you may have your head may have a fetish about thrillers and detective and shit like that. It may want to investigate mysteries. I just want to have them revealed and cleared up. So here, someone from the where I come from in this kind of way of seeing things, Ramana Maharshi says there is no greater mystery. What? There is no greater mystery than this. So let's just say there was 50 mysteries. Yeah. And someone said there was no greater mystery than this. Would there be a loss of interest in the other 49 and a more interest in the 50th? I would say so. Yeah. Don't you want to skip in front of the line? Just move right up to the greatest mystery? Okay, so here it is. The greatest mystery, as per from Ramana Maharshi. There is no greater mystery. Wow. Could you think he was stretching across the past, and the future and saying it? There was no greater mystery in the past. There will be no greater mystery in the future than what is the greatest mystery right now, which is what? That being the reality ourselves. Yeah. And there's no little statement on the bottom, no footnote said, for the ones who did themselves into the reality that they're being now as themselves. No, there's no footnote that you did anything to be the reality that you are. You are the reality, therefore you're being it. Yeah? It's not you were something else and you became reality. And there was tons of doing, and now you have momentary moments when you're being, only to have to do more to keep that ship afloat. No, it's a state, a fact, an inherent condition, being ourselves reality. Now, we can differ in little ways, but most of us have an idea that reality must be incomprehensible, not able to be experienced, not able to be known. Therefore, if that's the case, we are incomprehensible, we are unable to be known, and we're not in experience. Wow. So I feel like I'm quite known. I comprehend a lot of you characters, I think. Yeah. And I experience seemingly a lot of stuff. But I must be having those events not being reality. So, so as he goes on, we seek, wow, this is just blows my mind every time. I love reading this. We seek to gain reality. Didn't you seek? And I'll say that it was not you. The last thing that's attempting to gain reality, I would say, is reality. Yeah. The first thing and the last thing that has lost complete interest in attaining reality is reality itself. Been there, did that. Yes. Yeah. So if something is demonstrating a great desire to become reality and to attain it, it must not be you. Yeah. So if it's not you, why would you listen to it? Concerning a topic it has no idea of. It has tons of ideas, but they're erroneous because they're all neutralized by the statement being ourselves reality. Finding our reality. I don't believe so. I think the head thinks, yeah. I do not believe you're doing it. I believe you're listening to something do it, and that is the head, yeah. I do not believe you're a function in the head. I believe you're the awareness of functions in the head, yeah. So I don't like the language when it sounds like we think that there is something binding our reality. I do not believe we're thinking that. I believe there's thoughts about it that convince us it's we. But I don't believe it. Yeah. This is why I feel that which is doing this activity has a foreign nature to me. And its nature, though it can't escape that everything is reality, in this event, it's acting like it's its own reality. Yeah. It's calling what we call in recovery playing God. Yeah. So we think that there is something binding our reality and that it must be destroyed before that reality is gained. And ultimately, if you believe this, that's binding the reality. And for reality to be gained, you have to be lost. And that which you're not doesn't like the idea of dying to, to find the reality. I don't think it's going to sign up for lifetimes of spiritual practices like that. But the idea that that which is blocking the reality is me, and it's the me that's wanting to attain the reality. I would say that me is in an ultimate duality of cognitive dissonance. The me wants to gain a reality, but it has this strong suspicion that it has to be destroyed to gain the reality. Welcome to spiritual paths. Let's slow play this, and maybe they'll make you feel all right, and it could take lifetimes. Oh, great. Sign me up. Sign me up. I want to take as long as possible because if for me to gain reality, I must be completely destroyed. I'll just let me look like I want to gain reality. Give me some plausible deniability. Yeah. Come on, save my face, will you? So here, that it must be destroyed before the reality is gained. It is ridiculous. Wow. It's not even, it's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. It shouldn't even have to be uttered. It's so ridiculous that this is the way it is, that there's a reality being bound and kept away from us. And we must find the secret key to open up that triple locked door to allow us to enter reality. That's freaking ridiculous. Yeah. It is ridiculous. A day will dawn when we will ourselves what? Laugh at our own efforts. Why? You know why you're going to really laugh at your own efforts? You'll see they're not your efforts. Really. You're going to laugh like crazy because you'll see they were not. Yeah. Which is on the day of laughter is also now. So even if this has stretched like shrunk miles of space between you and reality, and you got down to a very little thing, it squishes that because it says that which is on the day of laughter is also now. Now. Eternally open gated, open secret, gateless gated. Yeah. Yeah. What? Yeah. There's on my wall, there's all these requirements. Reality did not post those requirements. That which is playing God posted those requirements. Yes. And if you have faith and believe it, you're getting played by a mental God that's seemingly sufficient enough keeping you away from the fact that being ourselves reality right now. Yeah. So then it goes to this I love also. So it is false to speak of realization. Wow. It is false to speak of realization. What is there to realize? And he has a question mark. All right. We can all, a lot of that's been whittled down if you're at a satsang, yeah? Non-duality satsang. I mean, a lot of it's been whittled down already. Yeah. 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 You don't need, one of the requirements should be off. You don't need long straight hair and blue eyes. That requirement's gone. Your body has to be purified, which it's not meant to be pure. It's a plumbing system. Yeah. There's a lot of shit moving through it, quite a lot. All right. So what is there to realize? This is so cool. This is sort of like a super spiritual cliff note. You remember the cliff notes when you used to study for a test? You give you a quick synopsis of the 800-page thing in about 10 pages. Here you go. What is there to realize? Okay, the real is as it is always. What? Wait a minute. Wait. Let's step back. I tripped over some of my requirements. Let me go back. What? What is there to realize? Question mark. Okay. Well, I like the one who told me the greatest mystery. I want him, maybe it's not him, but I want that thing that came through him come through again and tell me, what is it? What is there to realize? The real is as it is always. Wow. Okay, so the real, how can you realize something if you are that something? So being ourselves reality does not give you the possibility of realizing reality, because reality would be always realized. That would be the condition of reality. It's always realized. So we'd have to shoot it with some time and give it some space so that we could maybe leave it and then try to get back to it and re-find it over and over again. Yeah. So that we could have the great joy of finding reality and overcome the great loss we felt when we thought we lost reality. Yeah. But here, all that required is this. Okay, the real is as it is always. Wow. Okay. Always is pretty comprehensive, yeah? Always, that means always. So always, the real is as it is, always. So what moment is the moment? Every moment. What is every moment? No moment. The real is as it is always. How to realize it? Okay, here you go. How to realize it. Get your pen and your paper. It's going to be this is going to be like the longest trip you ever took. You got to get new walking, hiking boots, fucking snake repellent, tons of shit. There's going to be a lot of stuff going on this path. I mean, this is the most forever journey you're going to ever take. All right, this is it. How to realize it. All that is required is this. What? So, yeah, put down your spiritual tools, put down this, put down that, turn off the bhakti playing or the whatever. Just sit down for a second. How to realize it. All that is required is this. We have realized the unreal. That's it. Did the sky open? Probably not. Celebrations went off on Wilmac Avenue? No. How to realize it? All that is required is this right here. We have realized the unreal. So we talk about what we have taken to be real, and we question its reality, and we find that it's unreal. That's all that is required. What are we doing here at this satsang? Pretty much what he describes, I hope, to the best of our abilities. We're trying to get as close to this as possible, which is we have realized the unreal. by speaking about what we thought was real and to question its reality. And it breaks under questioning, like who am I or whatever, from whence I come. And you realize that what you took to be real is unreal. That's the only requirement necessary to realize being ourselves reality. That's all that's required. That's what it says here. We have realized the unreal, and it says we were in a condition where we regarded as the real that which is unreal. That's what the head is doing. Yeah. I do not believe you have to stop anything. You're not doing it. The head is regarding the unreal as the real. That's what it does. The brain interprets to the body of which it is a part. That's what it does. That's from the Course in Miracles. Yeah. The head has regarded the unreal as the real. That's it. That gets corrected. Did it have any effect? Only a seeming one. Yeah, it didn't change anything. Reality is reality, as always it will be and has been and ever. Yeah. But what allows it to occur is we stop taking, as we say in recovery, self so seriously. I mean, now you can live the rest of this adventure in a lighter manner with no thought or effort on your part. Yeah. Yeah. You have seen you're not that which regards the unreal as the real. You're not that. Yeah. What are you not? You are not that unreal as the real. That was all that was required. Yeah. Not me. I'm just repeating something. All that is required is we have realized the unreal. Why? Because that which we're not is constantly regarding as the real the unreal. That's what it does. Why waste any more time with it? Yeah. It's just going to do, if you bring it to what the real is, it's going to regard a mimicking of that as the unreal and take that to be the real. That's what it does. Yeah. It's not you doing it. You don't have to be convinced to not do it. It's going to probably keep doing it. You just see it's not you. Yeah. And you lose interest in that which regards the unreal as the real. And there's a gaining of interest in that which regards the real as the real. There you go. And then whatever effects occur, that's how it's playing out in this little seeding assignment arrangement. Yep. But at least you're super clear. Just like I was struck sober. I was struck sober, and I have a given clarity. I was thoroughly convinced that putting a drink or a drug would open up the fucking casino roulette system. You don't know what would happen. Yeah. And that I couldn't help myself, and I seemed to be powerless, and I was put in a position of power, and I've never had a strong thought or effort to drink or use again. 37 years. That's a pretty good mimicking of what it looks like to start to see you're not that which regards the unreal as real. You're not that. Yep. Beautiful. Why would you want to train it to do otherwise? It's set in a programming, and the only reason you would is if you think you have an affiliation with it, like it's a second cousin or this or that, or you're wedded to it. When you recognize it's not you, you're easily, there's no even cutting the rope of the one boat from the other boat. Yeah. you just drift away. Yeah. You lose interest. You lose interest. There's no sinking of anything or killing it or breaking it or, you know, pinning it on the mat. There's a loss of interest in it. Now you've gained interest in regarding the real as the real instead of regarding the unreal as the real. Yeah. I believe we all have that flavor. And I believe satsang is a sufficient watering of that. Yeah. If you're asked to do things for other concerns, you probably will be asked to do something and you'll be given the power to do it. But you may be at a point where they're, like they say in the Course in Miracle, I need do nothing. Yeah. And therefore, take that as your divine order. I need do nothing. And then see what happens. Satsang to me is sufficient to keep everything that can't sink afloat. Yes. That's all I've been doing for 20 something years. I have if I meditate, it's usually because of an attack of high blood pressure or something. So I can trance out immediately. But I don't call it anything. I don't feel like I'm building a spiritual resume. I don't. I rather be as naked as a child. Yeah. I haven't acquired shit. So come on, come in. It's like a spring shower to me, Satsang. And yeah, you'll probably get tired of trying to make something happen that already is available. But if that's the way you go, it's going to be great. You're going to fail, and through that failing, that's going to be a hallelujah. Yeah. Yeah. And yeah. Hmm. Hmm. All right.
Hey, Paul, Raven has her hand up.
All right, Raven.
Hi. My first question.
Great.
I'm addicted to this right now, the book ACIM.
Oh yeah.
There's something I was wondering if you could say it in a different way. It's the section that said it's in that oh, I can't see. The last unanswered questions. Oh,
The last
get
unanswered question.
I'm getting old. I can't
We
see.
can only hope. We can only hope.
There's this section, do I desire a world I rule instead of one that rules me? Do I desire a world where I'm powerful instead of helpless? Do I desire a world in which I have no enemies and cannot sin? And then the last one is the one I'm looking for you to say it in a different way. And do I want to see what I denied because it is the truth? Emphasis on because. It's italicized as well as bolded.
Hmm.
And do I want to see what I denied because it is the truth? I was wondering if you had
Well, I
anything to
would
say.
yes. All right. So say the first ones again. First one.
Um, these are questions that they're
Yes.
telling you to ask yourself.
Yeah.
Do I
That's
desire
that's
a
the question.
world? Do I desire a world instead of one that rules me?
All right.
Do I
What I would do with that would be I would look at who is it that desires a world that would rule me, and who is it that would want to have a desires a world of something else. I wouldn't go ahead with the statement. I'd ask, well, who is that? Yeah.
Mm.
See, the value to me isn't the statement. It's the assumption that there's someone that's making that statement. I would just go there.
Yeah, the first three didn't do anything for me. It was the last one that got me. It was, and do I want to see what I denied because it is the truth? That was the one that
All right.
the
So
first
what I
three
would
don't mean
say,
anything.
Yeah, how I see that would be, it was not me that was denying it. It was, yes?
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. How I see that is whatever that was denying it and now is saying it wants to see it because it's the truth, I would say I'm not that. That is, the statement sounds like there's a someone that was denying something, and now because of the truth, it's willing to tell the truth about it. I'm not interested in the denial of the truth. I'm interested in the someone. Yeah. Because that someone I don't believe is you. Yeah. I do not believe what you are has ever denied anything, nor has affirmed anything. Yes? I don't, humbly. So, what I found a lot of times in my life, it was the way that language was presented that uh, had the aberration in it. Yeah. It was sort of like, just like there's a statement in the Course where it says, uh, try to follow, I'll try to remember it. Well, I can remember it well. So it's actively denying what we are. I do not believe. See, when I used to hear that, it sounded like I was doing it, or was informing me that I was in an active denial of what I am. That's how it would hit me. I don't think I'm very different than other characters. Yeah. So in the language, when it was presented, it sounded like I was in the active denial of what I am. I come to believe that that's not true. That which it is also that which I'm not, that's firm in faith in this something else. And in the Course, it says it because of the, I don't like the language use. It says, and there's something else that you have made to be yourself. I do not believe you have made this something else to be yourself. I believe the head has made this something else to be yourself, and you've been listening to that. Yeah. What we are, not as a thing, but as what we are. Yes. This is substantially where I see things differently than presented in the English language in the Course of Miracles. It sounds like there's a you doing a lot of stuff. And I don't believe there's a you doing a lot of stuff. Yes? So what was actively denying something, and now because of the truth, wants to accept it, be accepting it. I know I like to be stubborn about this because uh, when I'm talking about things, this is how I'm talking about them. I'm not talking about you're the underlying doer, that you're the subtle doer of all this. Yes. So after you get over the crude doership, the gross doership, you can own up to the subtler doership. I do not believe there's a doer, an individual, long-lasting, independent thing has the head holds us. I do not believe that. Yeah, don't. So when I would hear that, that's where my interest lies. And I feel there's a statement of Ramana that I really, because it feels like a something I felt a lot for a while, where he got a question that a lot of people get, and he said, is life predetermined, or is there free will, or is there free will in the predetermination? So then he doesn't say anything about that. He says, if there's a sense of individuality, there's a belief that you're doing it somehow, that you are the one who's in actively denying what you are. I do not believe that. Yeah. I believe that's a sense of individuality. So he says, if there's a sense of individuality, which means there's going to be, because the mental state is not, it's not an individual putting out the sense of individuality. It's the head putting out the sense of individuality. There is no individual. What you are isn't a better thing than what you're not. You're not an upgrade in thingness. Yeah? That's a form of thinking that's defined by the system itself. Yeah? We're not a super doer, and we have to knock it off, not just drinking or using, but being in the active denial of what I am. We're not doing that. There's no you that could be held into account with that. Yes? I believe it's the head. This is, yeah. So when there's an active denial of what I am, not me, firm in faith that I am something else, not me. Yeah. There's something else that I have made to be myself. No way. Yeah. Yeah. No way. I just don't. So the English language is a trance setting and trance reinforcing language. It's a subjective language used by objects. Yeah. And the objects, the mental state gets its true goal. It wants to be a subject. Yeah. It wants to be a subject, even though taking itself to be an object. I do not believe you're doing, I don't believe what you are is doing anything other than being reality in a sense. Yeah. What you're not is active. Yeah. And what you're not is active, and it's constantly regarding what's unreal to be real. I do not believe you're doing that. And I do not believe it has to change. You just have to see it. Yeah. So you see it from the real, that which is regarding the unreal as being real. That's it. There's no you in it at all. Yeah. Yeah. So humbly, I love the course in something. I think you can boil shit down to a more distilled message that can fit easier as we seem to travel now. Yes? Yeah. So Bing said, he said, if there's a sense of individuality, there'll be a sense of free will. Why would you want to forget the individuality and talk about free will then? Because the free will comes along with the sense of individuality. It's not before the sense of individuality, it's after the sense of individuality. Yeah. So he said, if there's a sense of individuality, there'll be a sense of free will. And then he said, the only value these questions have is to point to that, yeah, to that sense of individuality, to see that it's not you. Yeah. Though a sense of individuality will be implied, insinuated, remembered, there's no individual that's putting that sense of individuality out. Yeah. Usually when you smell BO, you're looking for the body that was exuding the BO. Yeah. This one wants you to believe that the BO completely verifies there's a body there. But in fact, it's a sense of individuality. Someone took like a perfume thing of BO and shot it in the air, and therefore you sense it and you think there's a thing. Or the head does. Huh? I found when I came into out of recovery, there was not going to be no regret of the past and not shutting the door on it if you were stubbornly rooted in being the doer. Because if you're the doer and you're in this world of duality, you got a lot to regret. Yes, you do. On that logical scheme, you'll give up your whole case in front of the judge. Yeah, I got it coming. Yes. And most of us are prison sentences, literally, that were meted out by the head. Yeah. It played judge, jury, everything. Yeah. Yeah. And then it spills over when you read spirituality. Now you become the doer of a lot of shit you didn't have any idea you were doing. Like in Catholicism, the biggest rank idea is that you did a mortal sin and you don't remember shit. They call it the original sin. The original sin, you have no idea whatsoever, and you're meant to just own it. Yeah, you're completely fucked to begin with. What? This is right out of the head. The head hatches these ideas. Don't worry about all the sins you're going to commit. You're already a sinner. You've already have more. You got mortal sin is you're out off the game board. You start with a mortal sin. There's no making it up. And you can't, for the life of you, you can't remember what you did. You just got to go with faith. All right. I'm marred as soon as it's insane. I think it's mimicking what the head does now. Yeah. And don't, this idea, I was just watching a movie and they were talking about uh, we were made in God's image. No, we made God in our image. The head has made God in its image. Don't give me this shit. God is, do you think God is like a 6'2"? Give me a freaking break with a limp because Satan tripped them when they were young. You know, give me a break. Oh yeah. He's getting gray hair now. He's super old. He's infinite. No, I believe the head has made up a God in our image. A wrathful, fucking, grievous, held, resentful motherfucker. He should come. His son's gonna come on a Tyrannosaurus with a machine gun. That's what's gonna happen. Fly in here and kick ass. Jesus Christ. So, yeah, that's how I see it, Raven. Strongly today. I truly, I'm not trying to make that which can't believe that believe it. I'm not. I'm not sending my head to Sunday school all day. I'm not. I'm just seeing it as not me. I just something different or whatever. Just yes. Yeah. But I don't know. It's maybe everyone reads English differently, but I feel when you read something, it seems like you did it and you got to do something else. Yeah. And I just don't see that logic anymore. So, anyone else? Thank you, Raven. Thank you.
Paul Darshan has his hand up. Oh wait, he just left.
No, that's cool. That's how we like to see it.
You ran him off.
No, he probably had something.
Oh, I
better.
disconnected.
Oh, there you go.
My internet was messed up. Can you hear me?
Yes, yes.
Yeah, I don't have too much to say. I just wanted to say thanks. It's nice to just show up and be here. And yeah, I'm grateful for Zen Bitch Slap and everyone who shares. It's just nice.
Yes, it is.
So thank you.
You're welcome. Yeah, it's a pleasure to have everybody, and we'll keep the gates open. And yeah.
That's all I got.
I know, that's cool. Thank you. That's plenty. Anyone else, or we'll just start saying goodbye? Let me say hello and then goodbye to Susan Harris. Nice to see you, Susan. Where are you now? I can't hear you.
I'm sorry, Paul. Go ahead. What were you saying?
No, I was saying hello to Susan Harris and
Oh,
asking
my bad.
where
My
is
bad.
she?
I thought you said Steven.
Oh,
Okay.
Stephen also. Nice to see you, Stephen.
Yeah.
You're in New Jersey. New Jersey? Where?
Yeah, I'm in New Jersey.
Oh, Steve, our man. Yes, good. I'm happy you're here.
Yeah, how you doing, man?
Good, good. Susan Harris. I was wondering where you are right now. You can't tell us. You can't mute it, unmute it. Chris Perry, welcome. Nice to see you. Ernie, as always. Diona, I hope all's getting well and just get caught by that momentum. Let it take you. Kathleen, always a pleasure, honey. As always, John in Florida, Eric in Vista, Jack P in Australia, Alan Olson, the man who's never going to get it. GGSF, there she is. They, she, he, they, me, I, ooh, we. Nice to see you. Michael Stacy and Madeira holding the fort down. Claire, lovely Claire from Sydney. Nice to see you. My friend Mike Clark, Mexico, Raven, everyone. Hey, thanks. Thanks for the lovely afternoon. I'm replenished. Yes. So yeah. See you soon. Tomorrow is Wednesday. So yeah, we're gonna have some live people, I think, tomorrow night. Wednesday at 7 Pacific time. Thank you. See you guys, everyone. Bye-bye.
Thank you, Paul. Thanks, Michael. Thanks, everyone.
Thank you, Michael.
Thank you.
Thanks,
Thanks, everybody.
Thank you.